My name is Malcolm Marks. This is my American Public University Business 604 Week 4 Sensitivity Analysis and Capital Budgeting presentation. Our objectives today are: what is sensitivity analysis? Why is sensitivity analysis important in capital budgeting? Qualitative steps in conducting sensitivity analysis, quantitative steps in conducting sensitivity analysis, and incorporating project risk into capital budgeting. What is sensitivity analysis? A sensitivity analysis, also referred to as a what-if statement, is a mathematical tool used in scientific and financial modeling to study how uncertainties in a model affect that model's overall uncertainty. It's a way to determine what different values for an independent variable can do to affect a specific dependent variable given a particular set of assumptions. Sensitivity analysis examines the process of estimating how target variables change in relation to specific input variables. Sensitivity analysis can be used to examine the potential impact of certain alterations on an individual. An example: suppose you need to determine the impact on a 2% rise in interest rate on bond prices. You have an option to transform this into a hypothetical scenario, sometimes referred to as a what-if statement. An example such as a statement as follows: what is the impact on the price of a bond when the interest rates decrease by 2%? A corporation may do a sensitivity analysis to figure out the impact of variations in interest rates on its profitability. The most variable include the interest rate, revenue, and cost. The interest rate would vary within a range of plus or minus 1%, plus or minus 2%, and or plus or minus 3%. Scenarios will be constructed to demonstrate the effects of interest rate fluctuations on revenue, cost, and ultimately profitability. Why is sensitivity analysis important in capital budgeting? In capital budget analysis, sensitivity analysis are very beneficial because it allows you to understand the impact of uncertainty and unpredictability on project outcomes. It helps business understand what factors are most important, plan for different scenarios, avoid surprises, make better decisions, and be well prepared for anything that could arise. Qualitative steps in conducting sensitivity analysis: identify the key variables. Determining the key variables that may have an impact on the project result in the first stage in doing a sensitivity analysis. These factors may be project-related, internal, or external variables. Define the range of values. Following the identification of critical variables, you must establish the range of values for each variable that has the potential to affect the project's results. Determine the relationship between the variables, relate to one another. Finding the connection between the variables is the next stage. Do they have a positive or negative correlation? Quantitative steps in conducting sensitivity analysis. Conduct the analysis. The analysis may start once the important variables, their range of values, and their relationship has been established. This involves putting the model or project through some scenarios to observe how the outcome is affected by changing the variables. Evaluate the results. Following analysis, you may assess findings to establish how changing any one of these factors would affect the project's conclusion. Develop a mitigation plan. To handle the possible risk or take advantage of the opportunities, you must create a mitigation plan based on the findings of the sensitive study. Incorporating project risk into capital budgeting. Project risk is defined as an uncertain event that, if occurs, has a positive or negative effect on one or more project outcomes. Capital budgeting is a process of evaluating potential long-term investments or projects to determine their financial viability. Adjusting the discount rate. The present value of future cash flows is determined by using the discount rate. One way to include the capital's budgeting analysis is to modify the discount rate to reflect the project's risk. The discount rate increases with increasing risk, using a risk-adjusted rate of return. This is an additional technique for incorporating a risk into the study of capital planning. This method determines the project's estimated return after accounting the risk. Sensitivity analysis is a technique that may assist you in identifying the possible risks and project opportunities. You may assess the effect of modifications to important factors on the project's results by executing several scenarios. And to wrap things up, sensitivity analysis is a technique used to evaluate how changes in an input variable will impact the output model of an analysis. Sensitivity analysis helps determine the capital budgeting decisions. Qualitative steps include identifying the key variables, determining the range of values, developing scenarios, and evaluating results. Quantitative steps include defining the baseline model, varying input values, calculating results, and analyzing and interpreting results. Capital budgeting is the process of looking at possible long-term investments or projects to determine their financial viability.